The rain made it impossible to run the planters over the fields until they dry. Imagine squeezing a fistful of mud. It compacts. The dirt will be too hard for the roots to grow down or the wheat to come up. So what they'll have to do is push this exterior wall out farther to make more space. Or, alternately, they can move the waiting area out into here. It didn't stand a chance against the hailstorm last night. Having all three staffed 24/7 would be $153 per year. Bouts gave me these nails that he pulled out of the ashes. They were used to build his home, and he says a blacksmith made them by hand in the 1920s. Here you can see the difference between the infected wheat and the uninfected wheat-rye hybrid. Some of that new equipment comes with air conditioning and even TV sets, but you won't see any of that on this tractor.
And that's the basement that burned everything.
Mary Hodges and her husband Jerry have little more than a checkbook left from the fire.
We lost pets, and all of our equipment, our trucks are lost. Our shed is lost, our house is sitting in the basement smoldering.
But for her and others still sifting through the ashes, the Red Cross is helping with recovery.
The process is a little bit overwhelming because you don't know what to do. And when you're in the middle of it for yourself, you need to have assistance like my children.
The Red Cross organized a multi-agency resource center at Ashland High School today to help fire victims find financial, spiritual, and logistical help.
Coming here, I found people very kind and compassionate.
For many who expected to pick up toiletries, they left with a big surprise.
Definitely several $1,000s that they've been able to get in assistance today, which has been awesome and a huge blessing.
Blessing. So, yes, very much.
Some things may be irreplaceable.
We'll miss our pictures and mementos, you know, those things that we hold in our heart.
But for the Hodges, today was a step forward.
It was a long day, tiring day, but it has been worth it.
They line the highway.
It's a one-of-a-kind place.
And love them or hate them, they're iconic.
It's just kind of been a staple of our county.
These sculptures represent decades of work by M.T. Liggett, who passed away yesterday. The art is as bold and divisive as the artist himself.
I know over the years he's maybe hurt some feelings with various totems and things that he's made.
Those totems reference anything from Greek mythology and Shakespeare to criticizing local and national politicians. But for fellow artist Stacy Barnes, he was an inspirational mentor.
Somebody who wasn't afraid to say what he thought. And to me, that work is very important.
While some took offense to his work, Barnes knew a softer, more welcoming side.
To see him get on a busload with a busload of people and talk about his work is one of my fondest memories, and being here in his shop with him as I've brought visitors over.
Over the years, Liggett was featured in books and documentaries for his art.
I know we have people from all over the world that stop along this highway to see his work.
Like Henry Chandler from Norfolk, Virginia. He first stumbled across the sculptures years ago on a trip to Colorado.
Turned around and looked at it, and so if I ever come back out this way, I'd like to check it out again, take a few photos. So I did today.
Now he's immortalized through his art.
He definitely was quite a character.
When Naja Abdi took her permit test without a translator, she got 14 questions wrong and failed.
It's like if I was to come up to you and start speaking Swahili to you, you wouldn't understand what I'm saying, right? Now, the only thing that we're going to do is just translate.
Volunteer Ifra Ahmed was also a refugee and understands what a license means.
It gives them that sense of belonging, that they do belong here, that yes, I feel like I belong in Kansas because, you know, I have my Kansas ID, I have my Kansas driver's license. This could be my new home. And that's what we want, is people to be able to feel like they're welcome here.
The program was launched by Kearney County Hospital. CEO Ben Anderson says an ID is crucial to living a healthy life.
Really, you need a form of identification, primarily a driver's license, to do so. And if well-screened translators can remove a barrier to health for people, we want to be we feel like that's consistent with our mission.
I was super excited because it's something I've always been wanting to do, at least with our knowledge testing. There are several states surrounding Kansas that have other languages already in their knowledge testing system.
But while Naja did significantly better with a translator,
she did not pass today. You missed it by one, that's okay.
she fell short.
She feels very confident with it that she gonna be able to get her driver's license.
With a translator, Naja missed 6 questions, just 1 away from passing. She says she'll be studying tonight and she'll be back with Ifra tomorrow morning to try again. The Texas Attorney General is threatening a lawsuit if the administration does not end the program by September 5th. But today, Dodge City's mayor joined 100 other mayors from across the country and signed a letter urging the president to continue DACA. In the letter, Mayor Rick Sowers stressed the positive impact immigrants have on the local economy and pushed for a permanent solution for young immigrants. Ernesto de la Rosa is a DACA recipient keeping a close eye on the president's decision.
I'm hopeful. Obviously, I don't like my fears to take over.
His parents brought him to the U.S. as a child, unable to speak English.
To me, you didn't really think about being undocumented or as a dreamer during school.
That is, until he graduated from Fort Hays and wanted to go to law school.
When you are confronted with not being able to seek financial aid, grants, or any other financial support, that's when it hits you.
He received some community scholarships and also had to pay out of pocket. Now he has a master's degree from Wichita State and gives back to his community, working for the city manager in Dodge City. The 2012 DACA program gave him hope and helped further his career.
It was more of a blessing than it was some sort of fear of coming out.
But whatever happens, De La Rosa is optimistic.
Whether I'm deported or not, obviously there are options. I can take my education someplace else.
Tree limbs caused damage to multiple vehicles. And now, the cleanup.
It fell on her van, on top of her van. I broke the back window and smashed in the top pretty good, so I don't know, it might be totaled, but we'll see. More than likely it is.
And while damage levels vary, Georgia Matthews Elementary might have gotten some of the worst of it.
We have almost a quarter of the building. It's, I don't know, probably, it's hard to say the square footage, but blew a rooftop unit off and they pulled some of the roof off with it. I think we can have it ready for school on Monday. It won't be back together 100%, but it'll be safe and secure for the students to come in.
So he says at this point, parents of students shouldn't worry.
Go Blue Jays!
A bit of fun. After a rough week.
With everything that's going on right now, it would really mean a lot for us to bring home a state championship.
Ashland High School competed in the 1A Division II state quarterfinals today. Cheerleader Charlie Gibson lost her home in the fire and was grateful for the chance to unwind.
It's just kind of a way to get away from it for just a little bit and go support someone else and have a little bit of a change of scenery, and then we can come back and kind of regroup.
She's not the only one. The team's coach is a Clark County rancher who lost most of his land and a third of his cattle.
This community is going to bond together and you know, help each other out through this adversity.
It's a feeling shared by area residents who went to Dodge City for the game.
Traumatic. It's been very, but healing too. Tonight is the healing time.
You know, they're representing our community. It's an opportunity maybe for them to play for more than just the state championship.
But win or lose,
I love every one of them like my own kid, and I wouldn't trade them for anybody in the world.
Family, 1, 2, 3. Family!
With liberty and justice for all.
Garden City's Alicia Allen has lived in the U.S. since she was a baby and always felt like an American. When she married her wife last year, it was time to make it official.
So this is really what I know, so it's just a matter of, the right time for me.
She's one of 32 naturalized Americans who took the oath of citizenship at Fort Larned on Friday.
So help me God.
Earning access to a U.S. passport and other privileges.
As a Hispanic, it's just the ability, to vote and for your voice to be heard, and for opinion to count. So I really look forward to all of those things.
Dilcia Hecht moved to the U.S. from Honduras 17 years ago.
Excited, happy, and I can believe it. I can believe it.
And was grateful to reach the end of a long journey.
I never think before I can do that, but I want to say thank God for this privilege.
The process takes years, but it paid off when the torch passed from one generation of immigrants.
Finally, we got the last visas issued to Jews fleeing from France.
To the next.
Great. Accomplished. Accomplished for sure.
I can't explain. My heart is really been so happy. So happy.
Here for you in Larned, Santiago Kahn, KSN News.